In recent weeks, stories have been going viral about an organization named NSO Group and their spyware software called Pegasus, which was allegedly used to spy on some big public figures. So what exactly is Pegasus? Well, it is for hire spyware to be used by governmental agencies and is developed by a private Israeli organization called the NSO Group. The spyware infects a victim's phone through an SMS, which leads the user to a web link used to hack the phone by either rooting or jailbreaking. Upon successful infection, all the victim's data, including photos and messages, are sent to the hackers, and it can also turn on a mobile's mic or camera stealthily without being traced back to the government. So isn't this illegal? Well, the NSO Group claims that this software was developed to assist governmental agencies and they assure that their product is not misused. However, that isn't exactly true. A coalition of 17 media outlets led by the Forbidden Stories and names such as the Washington Post and the Guardian have found a list of 50,000 phone numbers that were suspected to be hacked. Among these, 1,000 numbers were traced back to their owners, and the investigation discovered that those belonged to some big public figures which are off-limit for surveillance. These include politicians, journalists, human rights activists, etc. The list also contains numbers of 3 presidents, 1 king, and 10 prime ministers from countries such as Pakistan, Egypt, France, Iraq, etc. However, there is a lot of ambiguity about the list, as on one hand, the company states that it has nothing to do with the list, and this is just a planned media campaign. Whereas, on the other hand, journalists report that these numbers were marked as of interest by the company, and several phones have been analyzed to be targeted by the software. In this regard, Amnesty International has published a detailed report in which they analyzed numerous phones and found that they had been hacked through the software. Moreover, Amnesty International has also released a tool to check if the phone is infected or not, complete instructions to which can be found on their website. Lastly, this isn't the first time that this organization has surfaced in the news. In 2018, NSO was investigated by the FBI with regards to the hacking of Jeff Bezos' phone. WhatsApp sued the company, and in 2020, Citizen Lab found hacked phones belonging to Al Jazeera journalists. So should you be worried? Well, unless you're in a sensitive position such as the government, chances are slim that someone has paid more than $500,000 to hack your phone. However, this investigation opens numerous questions regarding cybersecurity and shows that even the most complexly encrypted phones are susceptible to attacks. Do let us know your thoughts on this. On July 26, Intel released one of the most detailed process and packaging technology roadmaps in its history, encompassing a series of foundational innovations that will power its products till 2025. Firstly, the company highlighted its swift adoption of next-generation extreme ultraviolet lithography, referred to as high numerical aperture, with it being the first in the industry to get this technology's production tool. In addition, the company also announced RibbonFET, which is its first new transistor architecture in more than a decade, and PowerVia, an industry-first new backside power delivery method. Intel has also decided to rebrand the naming structure for its process nodes to match external foundries, so that a clear and consistent framework is given to customers in all segments. This includes renaming the Intel 10nm to Intel 7, which will deliver an approximately 10 to 15% performance per watt increase and will be featured in products such as Alder Lake and Sapphire Rapids by 2022. Furthermore, Intel 4 will fully embrace EUV lithography to print incredibly small features using ultra-short wavelength light, and will be available for products such as Meteor Lake and Granite Rapids by 2023. whereas Intel 3 will leverage further FinFET optimizations and increased EUV to deliver an approximately 18% performance per watt increase over Intel 4 and will begin manufacturing by 2023. And by 2024, it will launch Intel 20A, which will be a breakthrough towards the angstrom era and will be Intel's first new transistor architecture since 2011. This technology will deliver faster transistor switching speeds while achieving the same drive current as multiple fins in a smaller footprint and will utilize ribbon FET and power via. The company states that beyond this, it is already working on Intel 18A, which will include more refinements to ribbon FET and will deliver another major jump in transistor performance. Intel also states that Sapphire Rapids will be the first Intel Xeon data center product to ship in volume with EMIB, with it being the first dual reticle sized device in the industry. This will move from a 55 micron bump pitch to 45 microns in the next generation. Moreover, Meteor Lake will be the second generation implementation of Foveros in a client product and features a bump pitch of 36 microns, tiles spanning multiple technology nodes, and a thermal design power range from 5 to 125 watts. With regards to the next generation of Foveros, Intel states that its Foveros Omni will provide unbounded flexibility with performance 3D stacking technology for die-to-die interconnect and modular designs, while Foveros Direct will enable a sub-10 micron bump pitch with copper-to-copper bonding for low-resistance interconnects and will open new concepts for functional die partitioning. Intel states that it has put extra attention to packaging and is hopeful that by 2024 its process performance will be at par with the industry leader TSMC. A company named Jetpack Aviation has developed the world's first flying motorcycle, which it has named the Speeder, and it looks like it's from a futuristic movie. This flying motorcycle features up to 8 turbo engine, is completely stabilized, weighs around 231 pounds and can be powered by either diesel or kerosene. Earlier this year, the company tested its P1 prototype and was able to hover the vehicle and perform numerous movements such as spin, twist, etc. In addition, this vehicle will be able to reach 15,000 feet for 20 minutes, will be able to carry over 600 pounds and is reported to reach a top speed of 300 miles per hour. The Speeder will come in both personal and military versions, with the personal version priced at $380,000, and the company has already started taking pre-orders. Speaking of flying vehicles, Archer, the air taxi startup, was recently sued by its rival Wisk for the alleged theft of patents. According to Wisk, Archer had allegedly stolen 52 patents. Thus, Wisk demanded Archer's blockage to launch and unspecified monetary damages. However, the judge overseeing the case has ruled in favor of Archer, saying that though there are some arguable indications of misappropriation, but the evidence raises serious questions going to the merits. While Archer is celebrating, Wisk has stated that the company will not give up and plans to take the case to a jury trial. In other news, the state of Indiana in the US is moving towards testing the world's first ever road that will charge electric vehicles on the go. The Indiana Department of Transportation and Purdue University plan to achieve this through contactless wireless charging, concrete pavement, highway segment. This can be done through innovative magnetizable concrete called Magmet, which is developed by a German startup Magmet GmbH. According to INDOT, phases 1 and 2 of the project will feature pavement testing, analysis and optimization research conducted by the Joint Transportation Research Program and will test Magmet's capacity to charge heavy trucks operation at high power. The location is not disclosed yet, but you be sure to disclose your thoughts on this. Do you think that this will be the future, and won't such technologies make EVs more viable? Tell us in the comments.